And now, for the thing that Dunkel sent me. I'm bought and paid for by China. I'm bought and paid for by China by giving the Chinese money. Hang on, let me move this thing a little bit further over here. There we go. I need to redo my lines on the floor. Okay, Dunkel sent me this. This right here. Immigrations and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This is from ICE. I leaked mail. Animal Way 2 will be EGS exclusively forever. Oh, that's... I don't like that. I don't like exclusivity. I don't like exclusives. I understand why they exist. I don't like them. All right. This is a 7-page document. Let's see what this... I haven't read this. I hadn't read this for yet, so... Let's see. Can I remove this? There we go. So I just wanted a little bit more. It's like, Marky453, welcome to today. How you doing? We are about to check out this this thing over here. Dunkel sent this to me. He said this would be interesting to look at on the stream. I'm burying the lead. What is this? U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Enforcement and Removal Operations, ERO, November 2024. Just listening to game mashups? Nice. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Which games, though? Let's see. Question. How many individuals on the non-detained docket have final orders of removal? Please provide the data broken down by nationality and categories of reasons that make it difficult to remove to specific countries, e.g. withholdings and Convention Against Torture Protections. Response. As of November 24th, 2024, there are 1,445,549 non-citizens on ICE's non-detained docket with final orders of removal. Please see the following chart for a breakdown by country of citizenship. Like Halo and Dark Souls? Ooh, those are good vibe shifts, man. That's good vibe shifts. Alright, so let's see. This is non-citizens on the ICE non-detained docket with final orders of removal by country of citizenship. So this is a document from November. This means ICE knew about these and wasn't really doing anything about it. So we have Afghanistan with 1,708. Albania? The fuck are these people doing in the US? Like, these are with orders of removal. Like, these people should be removed. Albania, 1,874. Algeria, 306. Angola, 662. Antigua Barbuda. Where isn't Antigua Barbuda? Is it? Yeah, Antigua Barbuda is in the Caribbean. They are considerably closer. How the fuck are they only 110? These are people that need to be removed, by the way. So these would be, by all means, illegals. EGS was publishing and financing it, so Remedy did not have a choice. There you go. Marky, thank you for the follow. 90% is probably... It's likely overstayed visas. Let's hope there's an... okay, let's see. So this, we have all of these. Does this get any... Do we get anything else? Okay, we do have a bit of extra. So let me go through some of the... let's just skim through this. So we have 2,800 from Armenia. 2 from Aruba. They have their shit together. 261 from Australia. 60 from Austria. 700 from Azerbaijan. 426 from Bahamas. 17 from Bahrain. Fairly low. 4,837 from Bangladesh. 151 from Barbados, 323 from Belarus, 46 from Belgium, 899 from Belize. That's low. That's on it. I thought it was going to be higher. Belize, for those of you who don't know, let me bring maps real quick. Let me just make sure that I move out of here. Okay, Belize is oh yeah, we turned off the song request spot. Let me I'm sorry about that. I need to remove the tag because we stopped the song request part of the stream. I would apologize, but I don't want to. All right, let's see. So, Belize. You see Guatemala? Shithole country. One of the most shitholes of shitholes out there. Belize is right here. 90% of illegal immigrants in the U.S. 20 to 2022 were overstayed visas. Yeah, it seems to have changed since, but we'll see. 102 from Benin, 10 from Bermuda. So this report is from November. So this is probably the most recent. 122 from Bhutan, 1,366 from Bolivia, 166 from Bosnia-Herzegovina. The fuck, dude? 12 from Botswana, 38,677 from Brazil, 5 from the Virgin Islands, 4 from Brunei, 727 from Bulgaria, 303 from Burkina Faso, 769 from Burma, 462 from Burundi, 1,700 from Cambodia, 1,700 from Cameroon, 1,300-ish from Canada. Probably gypsies. Most likely gypsies. Most likely gypsies. 314 from Cape Verde, 2 from the Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands, good for you. 82 from the Central African Republics, 169 from Chad, 1,100 from Chile. That's surprisingly low. 37,908 from China. In the list of we need to deport these people. Like, this is not, these are the illegals, these are the people that have orders to be removed. The courts have ordered that they need to be removed. We need to enforce these, and they need to be kicked out of the country. They need to be deported. These are people that have to be deported. 27,000 from Colombia, 3 from Comoros, 795 from the Congo, 2,100 from Costa Rica, 126 from Croatia, 42,000 from Cuba. That's a lot. 14 from Cyprus, 100 from Czech Republic. Nice even number. Look at that. Look at that. Nice rounded 100 from Czech Republic. 254 from Czechoslovakia. Wait, what? They are citizens from the former Czechoslovakia. So they've been in the US for that long. When it used to be Czechoslovakia. Now it's the Czech Republic. Okay. 1,000 from the Democratic Republic of Congo. 45 from Denmark. 29 from Djibouti. Nice. 104 from Dominica. 12,700 from the Dominican Republic. Slovakia. We'll see if there's Slovakia, because it sounds to me like we're gonna see people from the Soviet Union. 31,000 from Ecuador, 1,400 from Egypt, 203,000 from El Salvador. Holy shit. Like, these are not the number of illegals. These are the number of people with orders of deportation. Like, these are removal orders. They have to be deported. The courts have ruled. You do not have asylum. You do not have a case. You are not allowed to stay here. And they aren't for some reason. El Salvador is taco burrito? Oh, no, El Salvador is right here. It looks like it looks like a burrito. It looks like a burrito. You're right. It absolutely looks like a burrito. You're 100% correct there. Shit. I love El Salvador, dude, but they absolutely look like a burrito. There you go. Equatorial Guinea, 20 people. 973 from Eritrea. 94 from Estonia. I was just being racist, but yeah, it looks like a fucking burrito, dude. What do you want? 6 from Eswatini. Where the fuck is Eswatini? Okay, it seems to still be a country. And oh, it's these guys. I thought only Lesotho was the one surrounded by South Africa. So there's another one. Then you have to think about is that they probably did not have a budget for the deportations, or it was yes. So over here at the start, it does say that how many individuals in non-detained docket have final orders of removal, provide data, categories and categories of reasons that make it difficult to remove to the specific countries. So these are, yes, people that have orders of renewal, and then we will see the reasoning why these people are still in the U.S. So yes, you are right there, that there's likely going to be some reason that they are giving, some sort of excuse. We'll see. It's probably going to be either a budget or an enforcement thing, because the Biden admin may take active measures to stop ICE from working, to prevent them from enforcing. Okay, 1,700 from Ethiopia, 353 from Fiji, 22 from Finland, 402 from France, 6 from French Guiana, 2 from French Polynesia, 6 from Gabon, 1,035 from Gambia, 833 from Georgia, the country, not the state. Although, I think there are many Americans that would be very happy to deport all people from Georgia. The state. 571 from Germany. These are likely overstayed visas, absolutely. 3,228 from Ghana, 211 from Greece, 150 from Grenada, 12 from Guadeloupe, 253,413 from Guatemala. I did not deport them because they thought the country was the state. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's like they go to Georgia. Yeah, like if you're a citizen of Georgia and you stay in the state of Georgia, it's like, yeah, we have orders to deport you to Georgia. And the other person's like, yeah, I'm here. What do you want? There you go. 253,000. 1,800 from Guinea, 48 from Guinea-Bissau, 1,236 from Guyana, 32,366 from Haiti, 261,651 from Honduras. Of course, Honduras always upstaging Guatemala and being like this. It's like this. It's this rivalry. 122 from Hong Kong, 294 Hungarians. Dude, what the fuck's wrong with you, huh? Hungary, get your shit together. 5 from Iceland. And they're probably all cousins. So 17,940 from India? That's really low. I thought there was going to be a lot more. Either they know how to play the system, or they have... Yeah, Hong Kong recognized as a country. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see if Taiwan is there. I am surprised with India being this low. Honestly. I am surprised. 4,276 from Indonesia. 2,600 from Iran. 1,300 from Iraq. 171 from Ireland. Damn, they give them to Israel too. Look at that. 1,148 from Israel. They have their orders too. 355 people from Italy. 1,200 from Ivory Coast. 5,120 from Jamaica. 281 from Japan. Even the Japanese. Look at that. 1,660 from Jordan. 369 from Kazakhstan. 1,282 from Kenya. 3 from Kiribati. What the fuck is Kiribati? Where the fuck is Kiribati? Where the fuck? It's gonna be in Africa. No! Kiribati is... Bro. The names. The names, dude. The names. We have... Dude, I need to go to Kiribati. You have Poland, the town of Poland. You have the town of Paris. You have the town of where the fuck is this? Of London, Tabwakea, and Banana. What the fuck? How many people live in Kiribati? How many? What's the population? What? 119,000 people? Okay, so it looks like it might be more than just this island. Is this part of Kiribati? Like, it looks like Kiribati is like these islands over here. Like, it's more than one island, because there's no fucking way there's... Let's look at Google Earth. There's no fucking way there's like 155,000 people in this place. Is there even Google... we don't even have Google Earth, like Google... Let's see, are there any in London? Where is it? Okay, here we go. This might be... No, there's not! There's no fucking way! There's 100,000 people here. Comprises 32 atolls and one remote raised coral island. Banaba. There you go. So there's banana, and then there's Banaba. I love this. I love this. Okay. So... Alright, let's continue. Let's continue. 3 from Kiribati, 1,229 from Korea, 180 from Kosovo. They recognize them as a nation, look at that. 146 from Kuwait, 319 from Kyrgyzstan, 4,850 from... Jet, welcome to today. Yeah, there's no street view from Kiribati, what the fuck? Like, I am curious as to how much... Oh shit, it's right south of Hawaii. Man, the Pacific Islands are something. Jarvis Island with a national park. Let's see. What is this? What country is this? Is part of Kiribati. So Kiribati is these islands. We have the village over here in Kiribati. Man, Kiribati has a lot of like ocean. What is this part of Kiribati? Nature preserve. What's the fucking country? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. But, there you go. I was on the phone with, Kuwait Embassy. They have interesting hold music. Why were you on the phone with the Kuwait Embassy? Alright, so 125 people from Latvia, 1,055 from Lebanon, okay. 11 from Lesotho, 1,563 from Liberia, 89 from Libya, 1 from Liechtenstein. Was for work? Okay. So, like, a solid 10th of the population of Liechtenstein needs to go back to Liechtenstein. Look at that. 259 from Lithuania, 2 from Macau, 5 from Madagascar, 56 Malawi, Malaysia, Mali, Malta. Let's just go for the important ones. Where's Mexico? 252,000 from Mexico. How many in Guatemala? 200. There are more people from Guatemala that had orders of deportation than from Mexico. Look at that. Moldova, 1 from Monaco. Shit, that's like half the population, dude. New Zealand, 166, 45,000 from Nicaragua. That's actually... Yeah, Liechtenstein is basically halfway already American. Yeah, look at that. This is a surprisingly low number for Nicaragua. Niger, 600, Nigeria, 3,000, 3 from North Korea. Mexicans better at hiding. These are the people with orders of deportation. So maybe, yeah. 39 from Norway, 341 from North Macedonia, 6 from Oman, 7,000 from Pakistan. That's surprisingly low. But again, these are people with orders of deportation that haven't been deported. So orders of removal that have not been deported. Let's see. Papua New Guinea, Peru, 13,000. Poland, 2,303. Look at that. 360 from Portugal, 3,500 from Russia, 4,000 from Romania. Let's see. Serbia, 50 from Serbia? No fucking way, only 50 from Serbia. Serbia and Montenegro, 64. Sierra Leone, Singapore, Slovakia. There you go. Slovakia is its own country. 131. 16 from Slovenia. That's pretty low. 4,000 from Somalia. Look at that. Fairly low. 300 from Spain. 3,000 from Sri Lanka. That's Romania. Somalia is low. These are the people with orders of removal that have not been removed. So, we're gonna see the reasons. Sudan, Suriname, 120 from Sweden, 60 from Switzerland. Look at that. 700 in Syria, 392 Taiwan. There we go. We got Taiwan as well. 392 people from Taiwan need to be removed from the US as of November 24, 2024. Trinidad and Tobago, Turkey, 3,100. Uganda, Ukraine, 1,800. UAE, 21,157. 1,451 unknown. We just don't know where to send them. Oh my god. And as I said, 337 from the Soviet Union. Look at that. UK could have been me. Look, you see? There you go. So they do have older nations here. Yeah, Yugoslavia, 845. So yeah. All right, let's see. What is the reasoning then? ICE is unable to provide a list of case-specific reasons why the agency is unable to remove certain non-citizens on the non-detained docket with final orders. So yeah, these are people that are not detained by ICE. They are not being held in like ICE jail, I guess, in their detention centers. So these are people that are walking around freely, but they have orders of deportation. There are several reasons why ICE is unable to effectuate removals. Under Title 8 of the U.S. Code, ICE may remove non-citizens from the United States who are subject to final orders of removal issued by an immigration judge or other lawful orders, including those processed under expedited removal who either have not claimed a fear of return or received a negative credible fear determination affirmed by an immigration judge. So what is ICE is the Immigration and Customs Enforcement of the United States. So they are the Border Patrol, basically. They are one of the Border Patrols. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they are kind of like a police force for the Americans that their entire job is to detain and deport people. That's an oversimplification, but that's overall the idea. I can understand the user, North Korea and Yugoslavia. Yeah, there you go. So let me reread this. Issued by an immigration law, including those processed under expedited removal, either have not claimed a fear of return, so that is apparently something we can claim, or received a negative credible fear determination affirmed by an immigration judge. So I guess this is whatever the counter to a fear of return might be. Like, I'm afraid to return to my country, and the judge rules the fuck you are, I guess. However, this does not guarantee every person seeking to remain in the United States will be able to do so. Okay, so the fear of return and then the determination affirmed, I guess either the judge is saying the fuck you are or the fuck you're going back, right? So I'm not entirely sure what this legal jargon would be. However, this does not guarantee that every person seeking to remain in the United States will be able to do so. There are several reasons ICE may not be able to effectuate the removal of a non-citizen with a final order of removal. What are those? We still have, or this is the last page. Non-citizens may pursue a form of relief or protection from removal, which may include asylum, withholding of removal, or protection under the Convention Against Torture. So those are the three overall. Refugee status falls under asylum, withholding of removal. We're gonna have to see what that reference is. Protection of the Convention Against Torture. So I guess if there is a country with a history of torturing their criminals, I guess. If a non-citizen is granted any form of relief from removal, ICE is unable to effectuate the removal. So the asylum, withholding removal, or protection under the Conventions Act torture, having those protections does not dismiss the order of removal, it would seem, but it acts as a protection against it. So the order of removal is still there, and you just have the document saying the fuck you are with your asylum, withholding of removal. Interesting. I thought part of the process would be to dismiss the order of removal, but apparently not. Additionally, ICE works to remove undocumented non-citizens from the United States once they are subject to final orders of removal in a timely manner. The US government believes every country is obligated to accept the return of its citizens and nationals who are ineligible to remain in the United States, which they are. Lack of cooperation from the foreign government delays and, in many cases, inhibits the removal process. The US government requests foreign governments to take appropriate steps to confirm the citizenship of non-citizens suspected to be their nationals, which include conducting interviews, issuing travel documents in a timely manner, and accepting the physical return of their nationals by scheduled commercial or charter flights consistent with ICE and/or foreign government removal guidelines. Lack of cooperation from countries in accepting the return of their nationals may lead to ICE classifying those countries as uncooperative or at risk of non-compliance. We will read the little numbers down here. Currently, ICE considers 15 countries to be uncooperative: Bhutan, Burma, Cuba, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Hong Kong, India, Iran, Laos, Pakistan, People's Republic of China, Russia, Somalia, and Venezuela. I was not expecting Hong Kong to be in this list. But those would have to be done by a judge, probably to say in order the order of removal. Yeah, no, like I thought it would be one of those things that the order of or the what is it called? What, the asylum? Like you getting your asylum papers. W. Dill, welcome to today. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to today. We're looking at this document that Dunkel sent me. This is interesting. Hong Kong is on the list because it's now fully controlled by China. China took back Hong Kong, so they would be like, Hong Kong, the fuck are you talking about? That country doesn't exist. That makes sense. That makes sense. ICE considers 11 countries to be at risk of non-compliance: Bosnia-Herzegovina, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, Gabon, Gambia, Iraq, Jamaica, Nicaragua, because they had their communist revolution, South Sudan, St. Lucia, and Vietnam. Interesting. Interesting, yeah. So these countries, yeah, basically these are the countries that don't want to stick the, that don't want to pay the cost. They don't want to go through the trouble of getting their illegals back. Makes sense. From their country perspective, makes sense. They didn't want to be here. You don't want them either, but they didn't want to be here. So if you bring them back, they're going to go somewhere else, kind of thing, right? Like they see it as a waste of time, which says more about the country refusing to take their citizens back than it does about the U.S. All right, let's see the little notes down here. 1. Asylum status is a form of protection available to people who meet the definition of refugee and are already in the United States or are seeking admission at a port of entry. I was laughed off. I was told I would be laughed off an immigration court trying to claim asylum when Guatemala abandoned me. Because they had never seen a country so incompetent. They wouldn't have been able to take my case seriously. So, yeah, I tried getting asylum, would not happen, and it wouldn't happen. Alright, 2. Withholding of removal is a form of relief from deportation that allows non-citizens to remain in the United States if they would face persecution in their home country. It's an alternative to asylum, which is another way to avoid deportation. Could I claim asylum in the USA because I could technically end up in jail over speech? Yes. It's political prosecution. Legally speaking, yes. You could go to a port of entry and claim asylum. The thing is, you need to be able to prove it. Not just that Keir Starmer is doing the thing, but that the police are actually going for you for something that would be politically, that would be legally protected in the U.S. Like, that's what I was explained when I was claiming asylum. If you want to claim protection, it's not just that you have to be, oh, my country prosecutes people. You have to prove that you would be prosecuted. You cannot claim asylum over that. You can claim asylum if you can prove political persecution for something that would be protected in the United States. In this case, freedom of speech. People who are being prosecuted under the right of freedom of speech can claim asylum. It's incredibly difficult to get it. it is possible to get it. Because I got explained this by an immigration lawyer back in 2017, that yes, like constitutionally protected, like if you're doing what in the US would be constitutionally protected activity, and you can prove, and the problem is, if you can prove that your home country would be prosecuting you for that, then you can try and claim asylum, but it's incredibly difficult. If you break human rights or be a full untargeted prosecution, yeah. And freedom of speech is a human right. It's an inalienable human right under the Constitution of the United States of America. So we could get Tommy Robinson could absolutely claim asylum in the United States. He is one of those cases. Like, he could easily prove political prosecution in his case for the UK. Absolutely, he could prove it. UK is not doing a thing everyone says they are. They sent Tommy Robinson to jail for the documentary that he sent exposing a bunch of shit. A single case I actually looked into had CTA, which is also not protected by First Amendment. Yes, the cases that you see on the press. We're talking about the people who are actually getting arrested for these things. So, yeah, as I said, it's very difficult to prove because you have a lot of nuance in these cases. But if it's entirely something like a Tommy Robinson situation, he could go and claim asylum under the current administration. I don't think the Biden administration would have given him asylum. I don't think the Kamala administration would have given him an asylum, but he would absolutely be able. I think he would have a case. I think he would at the very least have a case. Okay, let's continue with this, because the withholding. Having a family and having cops show up to your house, that's neither here nor there. But I personally consider him being a prosecution. More thoroughly a couple months ago, and I looked at actual case dockets. Not a single conviction on what people are saying. There are convictions going on. That doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter. We live in a post-truth society, don't you know? All right, let's see. I wanted to see over here. It was to be granted withholding of removal. Applicants must meet a higher standard of proof than for asylum. To be eligible, applicants must demonstrate that they are more likely than not to face persecution if returned to their home country, and show that the persecution would be due to their race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership of a particular social group. If a non-citizen is granted withholding of removal, the applicant can remain and work lawfully in the United States for an indefinite period of time. I know, Shabby, I'm fucking with you. I'm memeing, dude. I'm memeing. Take it easy. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. And don't forget that, what's it called? A lot of cases are still ongoing. And those cases, many of those, are confidential. You're not going to see them in the public dockets yet. Alright, let's see. So, this one, you need more water and cigarettes. Why don't you just get tap water? Why don't you just grow your own tobacco? I'm pretty sure you need a permit for that. So yeah, here you go, Jet. Here's the thing, right? So, it's a higher standard that you need to prove. So in the case of Tommy Robinson, he might be able to meet that standard to make a case for himself. I think he would. In a case of a random citizen that has yet to be prosecuted, probably not. Probably not. Probably not unless there is a case, like unless you can document that the cops showed up on your house and it is 100% because of a Twitter post you made or something like that, right? Like it would be, the burden of proof is insanely high for that. So there you go, which is kind of the point of this. They're trying to make the burden of proof really difficult to have so that not that many people can take advantage of it. Because the problem is, these rules have to be made in a way that you can't take advantage of them. So, let's see. Number 3, withholding of removal under the Convention Against Torture, this is the one I was interested in, is a mandatory form of protection that prevents the deportation of non-citizens to countries where they would likely face torture. To be eligible, applicants must demonstrate that they are more likely than not to be tortured if returned to their home country. This one seems like the most difficult one to prove. What do you mean you can get arrested for a Twitter post? The UK, one of the controversies they have right now, and they've had for a while, is that many jurisdictions have enacted hate speech laws. And which means if the government deems something you consider to be hate speech, there's a risk of you doing that. But from what JP has said, there haven't been too many convictions without other factors also being in the case, with other crimes being there. Remind me again, JP, what did you mean by CTA? Contempt of court? What is CTA again? Then you get convicted for not cooperating with the court order to give them access to his text messages and not for what he said. The official story is that call to action. There you go. Yeah, the official story is that he didn't want to give them his password, which, under due process, that's not a crime. It's not really, at least in the US, it's not a crime. You're not legally obligated to give the cops your passwords. Because that falls, in the US, falls under the, I think it's the Fifth Amendment, the right to remain silent. Yeah, if you call people to do something illegal, it is also a crime in the US. It depends on the jurisdiction, because I know there are jurisdictions that don't have it. Like, that is very much it's one of those weird things that some states have it, some don't. I think federally it is. I think it is federally. But then there are some states that don't have it as a crime. There are some that do. And it's, yeah. The call to action was, we should go to this product. And it depends. There have been a lot, like the ones that I did see, because we did see with Jeppy, he did show me a few of these, that they were absolutely like, people were saying, burn down this place, do this, do that, like they were actual calls to action. The court orders you to hand over and open your phone, you can get in big trouble. Yeah, non-cooperation, which in some states, I know that in some jurisdictions, you have legal protections against that, for that non-cooperation. It can still be charged as a crime, and it's one of those that I think some of these have it as it's simply not a crime. Some of these have it as it is a crime, but if you turn out to be innocent, you can sue back. That kind of thing. So it's tricky. It's tricky. It's such a tricky thing. So yeah, it's for non-cooperation. So yeah, the arrests that did happen in the UK that have publicly resulted in arrests and convictions, because there's a difference between being arrested and being convicted. Those ones in the public dockets are absolutely people that were proven to have calls to violence, calls to action, calls of violence usually. Because calls to protest, I think the only people that have really gotten in trouble for that were like the Proud Boys in the US, and they were released very fast. However, there are ongoing cases, and many of those are still confidential. So you're not going to see them in public dockets just yet. So, and those things can take a long time. So that is one thing to keep in mind, that there is still the possibility. And a lot of this is a mix of a legitimate fear of, at what point does the government determine that me just expressing my political opinion is deemed the same as this? And fear-mongering from people that find it politically expedient. Was one that broke today. Luckily, the guy was found not guilty. Yeah, there you go. So a lot of these are not having that. So yeah, it is a crime to not cooperate. And with Tommy Robinson, he had that. He was also found in contempt of court several times for asking people outside of a court their opinion on news articles. I don't remember if the people were like jurors, part of the jury in the cases. It was when the Rotherham, I think it was Rotherham rape gangs, the Muslim rape gangs came out to light, and he was interviewing people there. He got arrested for contempt of court, even though he wasn't related. And right now, the most recent complaint that is that he was sent to jail, and he's in solitary confinement after he released a documentary exposing a bunch of stuff from the Muslim rape gangs, a bunch of the cover-ups that the UK government did for the Muslim rape gangs. He was sent to jail. We will see once the court documents show what they show, but from what we're seeing, it looks like a freedom of speech thing. So Tommy Robinson could absolutely do this. And don't forget, right? Like, we're talking about a corrupt government that now has been demonstrated that they did do these things. The UK did cover up the rape gangs. We have millions of British girls that were just trafficked and raped for years, decades. And the UK government chose to do nothing about it and protected the rapists. So we have that. So a government corrupt enough to do that would absolutely be corrupt enough to give you bogus charges and aggravate things, stretch and bend the law to do this. How do I know this? Because I come from a corrupt country that does that all the time. So yeah, let's just go protest case were dismissed. Yeah, the vast majority of people convicted were not just arrested, they're either committing crimes during the protests or called others to commit crimes in their messages and posts. I did not find a single case of someone being convicted for just nothing unless they lied in their guilty plea. Yeah. The Dankula thing, that one is one of the more egregious ones, because his was one of the bogus charges. His was, and at the end of the day, nothing, like, they just wanted to put him through the ringer. Like, Dankula is one of those super clear cases of corruption. Because his case was absolutely nonsense from the start. Let me check this last one, because this one is number 4. The countries of risk of non-compliance. I want to see what this one is. Factors that could lead to a country being classified as uncooperative include hindering ICE's removal efforts by refusing to conduct consular interviews when necessary, refusing to accept charter removal missions, having an unacceptable ratio of releases when compared to removals, and or unacceptable average time from executable final order of removal to removal. That would need a bit more definition. And or denying or delaying issuance of travel documents, such as passports. At risk of non-compliance, countries accept removals, but they fail to meet one or more cooperative country criteria, which may include delaying the issue of travel documents, refusing to accept certain categories of their nationals, or not accepting chartered removal flights. So this means the country has agreed to receive them, and whether by incompetence or malice, they are hindering the process. I am surprised Guatemala is not on this list. I am genuinely surprised Guatemala is not on this list. But then you have cases like Nicaragua, where they just went through a communist revolution. They're not going to care about this kind of thing. So they issued the fine, and then he was fighting it back. He escalated it all the way up, and then they ended up just issuing the they ended up issuing a seizure order to the bank, which is an abuse of seizure orders. That was absolutely an abuse of power, because seizure is usually kept for illicit money, so dirty money that you have. They don't deport Guatemalans to Guatemala; they just drop them off in Mexico. Many times, yeah. Many times. There are charters, there are charter flights that go back to Guatemala, and Guatemala is just such an incompetent country, but it makes sense that it would just drop them off in Mexico, and just tell Mexico, well, you're a problem now. That makes way too much sense, dude. That actually makes sense. Fuck. So, yeah. There you have it. This document, dude. I wonder how different this is, the new report. I don't know how often they release these. This is from November 24, 2024. 1,445,549. With the moves that the Trump administration has been taking recently, I wonder what this number will look like in their next report. Seizures of money in the US, the entire subject is massive and basically illegal highway robbery by police. Yeah, no, like it's in the it's fucked in the US. In the EU has, and the EU has some of the better legislation, the UK as well. Because usually seizure orders are reserved for cases of economic crimes, such as money laundering, theft, fraud, tax evasion, stuff like that, where the funds themselves are proceeds of illegal activity. So it's not your salary that you earned legally from your employer, it's the money you stole from the person next door. That is the money that can be seized, at least under most of these jurisdictions. Like the EU and the UK have these in law. We are very lucky. Like the EU has really good protections and has very well defined, mainly because of the massive efforts. And these are like these things are like they were written by Americans. The FATF was started by the United States, and it's kind of like the UN's arm of fighting economic crime, like money laundering mainly. And based on their directives is how most seizure orders are based off of. And in the US, I know that it's, once again, it varies state to state, but many states abuse the seizure orders of seizure, just like many states, many jurisdictions, many police departments abuse their speeding laws. Like they will change the speeding law and the enforcement to stretch it to meet a certain quota and make certain amount of money. So they also inform you they either inform you it's going to happen, or they tell you you have to go to court to claim this money if you believe this is done wrong. Like in the UK, depending on where you are, because I know that that for England it's kind of it depends on which part of the crown and which not jurisdiction, but like which branch of law enforcement seized the funds. Some of them will seize them and give you a court date for your like this is you're already being prosecuted for the crime and the funds are seized while you're on trial. That's usually how it works in the UK and the EU. Like you will have your they will seize the funds once you're being prosecuted, because now there's you know you were indicted of these crimes. So now everything that we consider would be proceeds of these crimes, we're gonna seize them after freezing everything, and we're just gonna hold on to them. Seizure of money in the US is a bit different because it's not considered a crime. The charges against the money and the money are guilty are proven innocent since it does not have rights as citizens. They seize on that excuse money, cars, houses, and many people never get them back. And then there's eminent domain, which is one of the reasons why I'm never buying land in the US. Eminent domain is one of the most fucked up things. That and property taxes are two of the most fucked things the US can ever do. And unless they abolish those two, I'm not going back, not permanently. I'm staying in Hungary. Because eminent domain is the federal government decides we need this land for they have to offer you market value for your property, and if you refuse, they can take it anyway. It doesn't matter if you accept or not. That's not how the law is written, but it's how it's been executed. The law says that you need to accept the offer, but the problem is, then they say, well, we need the land anyway, so you're gonna give us land, whether you like it or not. So we can do it for we can do it the good way, or we can just seize the land, because then they go for the seizure and they use eminent domain as an excuse. It's so fucked. Are we going to play? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So in conclusion for this very interesting report, I don't know how often they release these, but I am very much looking forward to this number going down. Very much. So not just federal states have eminent domain rights as well, and even they force you, they still have to pay you. Yeah. So, yeah, no. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of the... I don't like the way property taxes are set in the US either. I'm not gonna pay rent for the privilege of living in my own land. I'm not gonna do that. You can sue for the release of the eminent domain as well. Yep. And it very rarely happens. People very rarely win. Alright, so yeah. Really good. This was good talk, dude. Good talk. Good stuff. This is fascinating. And this is from the Biden administration. This is I think this is the last report. I believe this would be the last report from the Biden administration. We will see how these numbers change. Things are moving so fast in the US, it's insane. It's insane. But we will see how many of these specific ones, non-detained dockets with final orders of removal. I don't think these are gonna fall under the... I don't think many of... I think some of these might fall under the current efforts to deport the criminal aliens. So the same law now in every country because the government wants to buy land, build army base. They will not be looking for what is on the market. Yeah. Yeah, like, it depends. I just like Hungary. Alright, good stuff. Let's move on to Control. Let's go back to Control, because we started the DLC. And I want to continue the DLC.